Hi Matt, Paul Cronin, CEO, Adriatic Metals, which owns the high-grade Vares silver project in Bosnia Herzegovina, as well as the Raska project in Serbia.
Well, this is a nice quick one. You put out a press release this morning. I haven't really had time to digest it, so I'm hoping you'll do the heavy lifting for me. DFS, off the back of the PFS, what are the big numbers we need to appreciate?
Look, I think, when we did the PFS last year, we're looking at sort of producing 4 different concentrate streams. We've dramatically simplified the project. We're now producing just 2 concentrate streams, a zinc concentrate with low iron, perfect for a number of European smelters, and a silver lead concentrate with payable gold, copper, antimony, lead and silver. We've adjusted the mine plan. It enables us to get into the high-grade zones early, bring ore to surface into the 3 stockpiles that we've defined to enable us to do some ore sorting and make sure that our commissioning timeframe is substantially reduced because we know exactly what's going into the plant and what the plant should produce at the other side. So fundamentally a massive de-risking exercise that's giving better economics. The NPV8 has increased from 1040 to 1068. The internal rate of returns up now at 134%. Payback has reduced from 15 months to 8 months. So all in all, we think the study is really robust. Worked on by an array of consultants, but primarily a Zinco out of Toronto, who've coordinated that with our own team. And over the last several months, we've been building up our owners team with some key new hires, getting ready to kick off the construction of this because obviously we're now fully permitted. So things are definitely moving in the right direction, and I think most people recognise Adriatic doesn't really sit on its hands for very long. We tick off one milestone and we move straight on to the next one. And for us, obviously, we're knee deep in the project financing process and discussions. We're just about to finish our international ESIA, which we've worked on with Wardell Armstrong in Cornwall, with a lot of input from the European Bank of Reconstruction and Development. So we are following their performance requirements. Look, I'm generally really happy with the direction that the company is going. Things really couldn't be better for us, despite choppy markets.
Okay, you've optimized the DFS, or you optimized the PFS to present this today. All looks good. The big question people are going to ask, and you've touched upon it briefly there, is when does this thing get financed? What's it going to cost you? So how far advanced are those discussions?
Yeah, look, we've got the independent technical expert reporting to the lenders next week. We're not concerned about anything that's in that report. We've finalised all of the due diligence reports in terms of staff, in terms of country risk. Legal due diligence is being finalised at the moment. So I think generally we would expect, lenders to be in front of their investment committees, their credit committees in the first week of September. And at that point, assuming all the terms are as they were presented to us initially, I think we'll be in a position to move to close that financing fairly quickly.
Okay, look, we've had enough discussions in the past about the construction of the project, what the focus is, and where you're going to spend your time, money, and effort. I noticed that you've left a few things out of this DFS too. Why? Yep,
we've left out. Well, Via Vacha open pit was always coming in at the end of the Rapitsa mine life. It didn't add a lot of value, on a present value basis. To the project or the company, so we've left that out of the study, but we are still looking at options to bring that into production. What has changed is that we've had some exploration success. We've announced that we've drilled a good high-grade intercept about 80 metres north of the main ore body. Now, we don't know whether that is a continuation of the current ore body yet, or it is a repeat of the ore body, because structurally controlled deposits like this tend to repeat. We'd be delighted if it was a repeat, but we've got to go and do more work on it. So we're optimistic about it, but we're also, suggesting to investors that we do need to do more work before we can understand what the impact of that is, and we obviously need to test the extents of it. Our drilling this year has been really focused on geotechnical for construction. But we are now getting more rigs in to expand that exploration program as well. Excuse me. The other significant change, which has fundamentally reduced the capex and de-risked the project, particularly from a logistical perspective, is we've deferred the development of the barite circuit. Barite, as you know, is a low-value, low-margin product, but we were going to be producing nearly 1 million tonnes of it over the life of the mine. Because of the dynamics of that market with respect to COVID, and because of the turmoil that is in global shipping at the moment, we did not have certainty that barite would make a positive economic contribution to the project. And so we have decided to take that out. We've left space in our site layout to rebuild it later. That could be in a month, in 6 months, in a year. We'll see. But we have made that decision to take that out for now. And I think that really massively simplifies the execution of the project.
Yeah, I think it does. We've talked about it previously. You've also, and I'm not going to give you I'm not going to. I don't want to sort of dig down into some of the topics we've discussed previously. People can go and look at those interviews. Some of the other things, and I know you're in a rush in a second to go and talk to investors, but OTCQX listing happened since we last spoke. Why did you feel the need to do that now?
Look, we've had a lot of requests from North American retail investors that said we can't easily buy ASX or London. We'd like an opportunity. We've done that. We've seen, I think that's been rather successful from when that happened a few weeks ago. So that just brings in, a different potential investor base. We know North Americans love silver. We are a silver producer primarily, and we look forward to getting the sort of multiples that silver producers get.
You're still a silver company then?
We're very silvery, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I noticed like 48% of revenue from silver and gold, but obviously the markets have come off a bit. Any views on that one? I'm asking CEOs why the market's doing its thing at the moment. What do you think?
Look, I think we've seen concerns over the Delta variant of COVID and the impact on that. We're certainly seeing data that suggests that certainly on the Pfizer vaccine out of Israel is having an impact. So there's a bit of uncertainty there. I think we've got interventions by central banks and their boards suggesting that, inflation is transitory. But I think we all expect interest rates to rise reasonably soon. I don't think my view is, and what I've seen from our own procurement, is that inflation is probably pretty entrenched, quite frankly. I think that's causing a few wobbles. People are looking for some sort of direction. We're certainly seeing an increase in volatility. But I think we go back to the fundamentals, and the fundamentals of demand for precious, demand for silver in particular, which is being driven by photovoltaic and EV charging. If we look at the demand for zinc, for copper, all around the electrification and decarbonisation of the world, there is not enough supply. And I think, higher metal prices are here to stay.
Right. Well, Paul, like I say, you've got a dash. Appreciate you taking our call this morning so quickly off the back of this DFS. Do you know, I was on holiday in the Adriatic Sea last week. Nice place you're doing business in. I like it.
Yeah, I wish we were a bit closer to the sea than we are. But certainly we're enjoying working here. And we're going to be doing a lot more work here. Construction's starting. Access road construction has already started. We are continuing to look at how we can get those declines commenced by about mid-October. So we're optimistic about that. And at the same time, we are still doing metallurgical test work like crazy. And whilst we haven't finished that program of optimization and variability test work that we've been doing, it was quite an extensive program. The initial results we're seeing are really positive, and so we might become a bit more silvery goldy than we currently are. But we'll see. I think we're finding a lot of support from Bosnian business for the project. There's a lot of interest in supplying the project and getting more involved. In itself is really working to that sustainability angle that we're all so keen on pushing, which is showing that, this jurisdiction is one that is open for investment. This jurisdiction is a place where you can get things done. And by doing that, we're also exposing a lot of Bosnian manufacturers and suppliers to international markets, international rules around procurement, etc., anti-corruption, bribery. We have our slavery policies, we have our carbon emissions policies that are all being effectively pushed down onto our supplier base. And I think people people are responding to it really well. We've got a bit of work to do to get some of our costs down a little bit more. But overall, I think this project is doing exactly what we wanted it to do, which is going to provide good shareholder returns. It's going to have a positive and permanent legacy on our local community and on the natural environment around it.